Hello, welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now, before we get into today's video, I would like to say a huge thank you to McKinley Johnston for sending in some awesome pictures of his custom Praetorian regiment. Absolutely fantastic models here. Love the conversion, especially the one on the big Ogre bodyguard, and the flag looks great as well. And the fluff that you develop behind these guys is absolutely fantastic. If anyone's interested in that, go and check it out. It is on my Facebook page. Now, if anyone else has got any cool pictures that they want me to use in my videos, please post them on my Facebook page, and there will be a link down in the description below. Now today, guys, what I want to do is put forward a controversial opinion, which is that maybe, just maybe, 9th edition could finally be the edition where the Leman Russ Eradicator actually has a time to shine. Some of you may not even be aware of what the Leman Russ Eradicator is. You may have never have seen one roaming free in the wild, but they exist. I own a Leman Russ Eradicator. It's the true Eradicator, not these Ponzi Space Marine overpowered Eradicators. No, this is a man's Eradicator, a unit that traditionally has struggled to find its niche. But now, just maybe, it could be good in 9th edition. Now, for those of you that want me to present my reasoning, or at least prove that I haven't gone totally bonkers insane, or want to know what the heck a Leman Russ Eradicator is, let's get into it now. So the Leman Russ Eradicator, it's essentially, fluff-wise, it's armed with a mini Nova cannon, and it essentially there was a planet in the Imperium that had too much radioactive material just lying around, and they figured, what can we do with this? And they designed the Leman Russ Eradicator, and it launches, I believe, subatomic munitions into units in cover and just irradiates the crap out of them. Pretty cool, actually. It's got a small version of what the Hellhammer cannon has, the big super heavy one. So it's very cool. And basically, what that means in tabletop terms, guys, is it's designed for rooting infantry out of cover. Now, immediately after I said that, you can start understanding why this could be useful in 9th edition. It's an edition all about infantry. It's all about elite infantry, and getting them out of cover is very important, because Primaris in cover are tough to shift. Even with things like plasma, they are tough to shift. So what we're looking at, guys, is the Eradicator. It has 36-inch range, strength 6, AP -2, D3 damage. It's a Leman Russ, so it gets to fire twice if it moves under half, and it ignores cover. Now, the main advantage of the Leman Russ Eradicator is, so straight away you look at that stats, you're like, right, it's wounding Marines on 3s. Great. It's got a decent 36-inch range. That used to be a problem. Now not so much, because smaller board size. AP -2 plus ignores cover means those Marines will be taking saves on a 5-up. Great. And D3 damage means, on average, you should be, statistically blasting a Marine away with each shot. Awesome. So it is on paper really good. Now, the previous problems with the Eradicator have been that elite infantry has not been very popular. All through the beginning of 8th, Primaris were a joke, and vehicles were pretty important, especially flying vehicles. But now vehicles aren't as popular, and flying vehicles definitely aren't as popular because they've lost the ability to fall back and shoot. So a lot of people are turning up to the battlefield with these elite infantry armies, and the Eradicator is sort of poised to be very good. Now there is an argument that can be made against the Eradicator, which is that its main gun costs 15 points, and the main gun of the Executioner, the plasma one, is also 15 points. And the Executioner is just as good against elite infantry, and can also, it's got the high enough strength and the high enough AP to pretty much threaten anything. So I'm not going to argue with that point. The Executioner is probably the superior tank, but the problem with the Executioner is that it is a very high priority for your enemy to kill it. Everyone knows what it does. Executioners are extremely popular. I've advocated them for a long time. I'm continuing to advocate them in 9th edition. They're probably the best take all comers unit. It's hard to not want to take an executioner, but, and it's a big but, and I cannot lie, they are extremely high priority for your opponent to kill. Your opponent will go after your executioners and he won't even think about it. It's not even something he has to compute. He just does it because they're really, you know, feared, and rightly so. The Eradicator, it's low on your opponent's priority list to kill. It's which is wrong, but it doesn't have the same feared reputation as the executioner, and B, it seems it's less known. It's less well known, and when you explain the stats to people, it won't really compute with them that it's designed for killing infantry. They'll just be like, oh, it's just a shitty battle cannon, whatever. But whilst your opponent is, you know, targeting your executioners, your Eradicators can be there just casually every turn, just lobbing those rounds against those Primaris units, and every turn it will take a huge chunk out of our Primaris squad, and it is cheap at the end of the day. You know, you're taking it for its main cannon, which means it's only 155 points, 145 points. It's 190 with 3 heavy bolters, but you also take 1 heavy bolter, so it's 160 points. So it's 160 points. You can take it with heavy. If you want to take it really cheap, you can take it with a couple of heavy bolters in addition. When they're going up to flat 2 damage, they're going to be really good. But I would almost hesitate to do that. I would just take it bare bones, nice and cheap, and I would just have it there. And I wouldn't take more than 2. I'd probably only take 1. You know, 1 Eradicator is enough. You know, you take your 3 plasma executioner tank commanders, and then I would take 1 or 2 cheap Eradicators. And your opponent is going to really focus on all the plasma, and your Eradicator is going to be sat there. And unlike a Demolisher, which has to get, you know, really up close and personal to do a lot of damage, the execution doesn't. It can sit back, and it can just casually continue to just lob rounds into your opponent's deployment zone. It doesn't have to move very far to get in range these days, and it can just, it's not going to be targeted. And by the time your opponent has chewed through your 3 tank commanders, your Eradicators will have racked up a decent amount of points. And so that's my argument for it. I think it is cheap, I think it is anti-meta, and I think it is low enough priority that your opponent won't target it, and that will allow it to gain its points back. And that will allow it to do the job it's designed to do, which is to root heavy infantry out of cover. It's literally perfectly designed for it. It's got just the right amount of range, it's got just the right amount of strength, it's got just the right amount of AP, it's got just the right amount of damage, it ignores cover. It is perfect for just lobbing rounds against Primaris Marines into cover. That's all it has to do. And it's what it's designed to do. But that's my argument for it. It's a nice cheap vehicle. It's gonna do some damage. It's in its perfect environment now. If it's no good in 9th, it'll never be any good. If I was against Workshop, if I was to improve the Eradicator, I'd consider bumping its range up to 48 inches, and I would consider giving it maybe reroll 1s to wound or +1 to wound against infantry to represent that sort of eradication, the irradiation. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Am I mad? Is it a good point? Is it better just to take more plasma and stop trying to play, you know, clever mind games? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.